pursuant to Section 20 of the Municipal Home Rule Law, the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, New York, will hold a public hearing on the aforesaid amendment at the town offices, 1142 Route 311, Patterson, New York, on May 22nd, 2024, at 7 p.m. in the evening of that day, or as soon thereafter as may be held, at which time all persons interested therein shall be heard. The town board will make every effort to assure that the hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Anyone requiring special assistance and/or reasonable accommodations should contact the town clerk, dated April 24th, 2024, by order of the town board of the town of Patterson, Donna Ramos, town clerk.
I would ask that anybody who has any questions or comments on the proposed changes to our zoning code, local law number 2, if you would approach the mic, state your name and give your address for the record, make your comments or questions. Going once. I would ask that anybody joining us by Zoom tonight, if anybody has any questions, if you would unmute and again, give your name and your address for the record, make your question or ask your questions or make your comments.
Close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion on the reports?
Make a motion to approve the following reports: code compliance, April 2024, code enforcement, April 2024, dog control officer, 2024, ECI, April 2024, and Patterson Recreation, April 2024. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Somebody like to make a motion on the supervisor's report?
Have it. I'll make a motion on the supervisor's report.
Oh, sorry.
And I have it here. There it is. For March 2024 in the amount of $17,869,372.07. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm gonna make a motion to, go, sorry.
Giving him a chance to,
Oh, sorry.
somebody like to make a motion on the minutes?
Motion to, accept the, minutes, from the town board minutes from April 10th, 2024. Town board minutes from April 24th, 2024, and Patterson improvements bid, April 30th, 2024. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Somebody like to make a motion on the audit of the bills?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to approve abstract number 8 dated April 26, 2024 in the amount of $617,116.96. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd also like to make a motion on abstract number 9 dated May 13th, 2024 in the amount of $117,082.64. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hey, Sue, did you close the windows? Okay, we have some budget transfers.
Okay, I'll do my best for Charlie Cook's sake to continue to honor him. We have 4 budget requests. Number 9 is required adjustment is necessary to allocate funds for the approved American Heart Association certification training for the initial income and costs of the program for the ambulance service. So we're looking to increase ambulance fees in training $1,260. We're going to decrease allocated fund balance $151 and increase certification training expense by $1,109. Make a motion, we approve budget adjustment request number 9. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Budget request number 10 is required to adjust reallocation of funds approved for the 2024 International Packer, budgeted in the 2023, but not received until 2024. So this is an increase in allocated fund balance of $186,493. We're also increasing the sanitation equipment and capital outlay for the same amount. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 11 is for the allocate additional funds for the insurance contractual accounts of the general fund and sewer and park districts due to increased costs. We are moving money from contingency account 1,981, sewer contractual sludge removal 1,346, and parks contractual expense 326. We're moving them to unallocated insurance contractual, 1,981. These are the same amounts. Unallocated insurance contractual, 1,346. And liability insurance contractual expense, 326. Budget request number 11, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Request number 12, adjustment necessary to allocate additional funds for the street lighting repairs. We're moving increase of appropriated fund balance, $4,000 to street lighting contractual for the same amount, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, that's you.
And lastly is under personal services for employee retirement, requested to allocate additional funds to sanitation personal services account for Frank Grady's retirement costs for sick time payout. So we're increasing allocated fund balance, 10,450. And that's going to sanitation personal services, employee benefits, social security, Medicare, and MTA taxes, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
I
guys.
think we should sit on opposite ends.
That's all I
so we
think,
get
yeah.
in the
Split you
middle.
guys.
Well, if we're sitting at the same end, we should agree on who's gonna say.
I'm gonna sit closer so I can
Fair
hear.
enough.
All right.
Fair enough. Thank you,
Sorry.
sir.
All right, before you do, send them back down.
I didn't finish signing.
Sorry.
Do you need them?
No, go ahead. You're up.
Okay. So the first item on my agenda is a discussion on the Fox Run Phase 2 site plan. I'd like to defer to the supervisor. He has, most experience and,
Mr.
commentary.
Zarecki, please approach the mic and introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Joe Zarecki, engineer for the project, for the active adult, 80 unit active adult. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with the project. Don Capolino, the attorney for the project, couldn't be here tonight. He's on vacation, so he gave me the task to present what we're hoping for. The 80 unit Fox Run is an active adult project that we've been working on for many, many years. And we're at a point where we almost have conditional final approval from the planning board with one stipulation that we provide, that we look for adequate water supply before they grant it, which we're trying to get by that part of it. In addition, we've done some work towards that because we want to honor what they wanted. And the town of Patterson, it's a town of Patterson water system. And there is an existing well there that was not being utilized. And we went ahead and pulled the pumps out of there and videoed the well. And we did some preliminary pump tests on it and found that there's some water, but we wanted to go ahead and frack it because the specialists that are handling the water project from WSP said it looks like a good candidate for getting more water out of it. But once we got to the point of fracking it, it became obviously very expensive. In addition, we'll be needing to either one or more wells for the project in order to support both Fox Run 1 and the 80 unit proposed, which will become the town water supply for the project. When we thought about it and gave it a lot of consideration and were willing to do it, there is no assurance from either the planning board or the town that they would accept the water system, the water supply, and then we'd be spending tens of thousands of dollars without that insurance. And we are hoping that we can get from the town some sort of memorandum of understanding that if we find a well, that we could become part of the system and we'd be able to get the water from the district, and we could either do it as a tenant, at a fair price tenant to the water district, and then eventually go to the expansion of the district, which also takes a lot of time. So all we really wanted was, hey, if you find the water, you can join the district, you can get the water from us. What RC, and this is at no cost to the town for drilling the new wells or fracking the new wells. It's all part of what we said we would do. In addition, any upgrades to the plant that are required would be paid for by the applicant for the project. So, and We have had discussions with the HOA that's existing there, and they're all for it. They said the economy of scale, meaning to be more people in using the system, and it could be could be cheaper to run the plant and their taxes. And in addition, this project also helps the existing HOA repair some of the systems that they have existing that are not operating to 100% capacity, need some repairs, and we would take care of those costs. In addition, building a new clubhouse for them. We had an agreement years ago, and since there was a new HOA back in December of 23, we have a new agreement with the HOA, and they're on board. They're anxious to get it going. They want the project, they need the project, and they would like us to get going on it and see when we can get this going. So without further ado, I was seeing if you had any questions on this and what.
Well, you know, I've been familiar with the project from the day it first came into the board. I think the town overall has been fairly supportive of the project. You know, we've worked through a lot of design issues to come up with a project that I think is going to be beneficial both to the community out there and the town at large. Nobody's been trying to throw up any, you know, obstacles to you, but we're kind of at a crossroads here because, as I said, if you want to give me a map plan and report, we'll be happy to start the process to create the district. We can do the first two resolutions and then wait for the site plan to get approved before we do the third resolution in a row. You know, I'm reluctant to do a memorandum of agreement committing the town board to making a decision on resolutions that haven't been voted, you know, on by the board. You know, locking us into decisions. We always have to remain impartial and unbiased. So doing an MOA or an MOA, yeah, an MOA would,
MOU, memorandum of understanding, that would be great.
either way, you know, I'll defer to the attorney, but I think it locks us into a position that we can't lock ourselves into.
I'm not sure. A memorandum of understanding would mean we still would have to find the water and provide enough
I
water.
understand, but I can't sign a memorandum of understanding or agreement that says we're going to include you in the water district out there without going through the process that's mandated by the state to include you in the water district.
Isn't it possible to have the language put in the memorandum of understanding? They just,
Huh?
I think, all we're saying is, we're saying we're not trying to lock you into anything. We just want the town to have something in writing saying, if you do all these things, that we can move forward, and we would feel confident if we do all those things, that we would be accepted into the district. I'm sure there's language that could be,
Joe, I think that the key issue is lock it, the town, even with a memorandum of understanding, it's still indicating an agreement on the town's part to go forward and approve the project as you're proposing it. I think it would be premature without a map plan and report being prepared. Perhaps after the map plan and report are prepared, when all of the issues that would go into the decision of extending the district are laid out, at that point, there might be a different view. But without that, I don't think a memorandum of understanding is obviously not an overall binding agreement, but it certainly could be held against the town as an indication of their support and approval. And I think it's premature without following the steps that are outlined in town law for the extension of the district.
but if we didn't expand the district, couldn't we become a tenant of the district and charge us for the water?
You could also
But
install,
if we work that out,
but you could also install your own wells and serve the project on its own
that's correct.
without the district being extended. So until those issues and options are vetted, which would be inherent, I think, in a map plan and report, analyzing the different options and which ones are preferable, which one benefits the HOA and the developer and the
Right.
town, that's when the town could take an affirmative step to chart the course.
We have had that discussion early on, even on our original design. There was an area for the well and the new water treatment plant. But discussions with the supervisor said, and HOA, it was more practical to have the way smart growth would be, to have one system for the entire project.
Well,
And we gotta understand that my client's not gonna do this because he's gonna spend tens and tens of thousands of dollars without some kind of saying, when we find water, that we will be accepted into the district. And I don't think we wanna spend tens of thousands of dollars of doing a map plan and report, and yet, at that point, we still wouldn't have the assurance that you're gonna accept it.
But Joe, I can't speak to the history of the project. I'm not
I'm
familiar.
not,
with
I'm
it.
not saying you are,
I'm not familiar
I'm
with
just presenting to those members that haven't
But
been
if
involved
you're-
in this.
it. What stage are you at the planning board? Has there been a neg deck issued? Has there, I mean,
There's been-
I guess what I'm getting to in the little information that I have on it, it seems that there's support for the project. It seems that you're well down the road to approvals. If you're close to getting conditional site plan approval, then that system itself speaks for cooperation on the part of the town. I think, I don't like the idea of the town going forward with a commitment without the map plan and report to digest, okay? I also am not seeing any indications from the town that there are roadblocks to the project. You've gone through the site plan, you're at a stage where you can go forward. If you're going to go forward and dig test wells,
Yes.
essentially, that's what you need to do. That's your next step. You're gonna have to do that to obtain site plan approval, whether you're in the extended district or not, I would think. So it's part of the costs to be incurred in expanding the project. I haven't sat with the planning board. I don't know what their thoughts are, but Rich certainly is privy to what's going on there.
I'm
So
not sure if you're familiar with the letter that was submitted in April 25th, outlining from Dr.
I've seen it. It all makes sense. Your request certainly makes sense. And from a business standpoint for the developer, it certainly makes sense. But I don't know if the town is obligated to, promote the project by taking a step that is premature for the procedural step that has to be taken. So once the map plan and report is prepared and the town can feel confident that the extension of the district makes good sense overall, that's a technical requirement for the extension of the district. So to commit to the project in advance is premature to me. And the town's hands could conceivably be tied by having taken an affirmative step that the developer would be relying on in going forward with incurring the expense. I think it's a part of the expense to have been anticipated in connection with the project. So that's my thoughts on it. I've discussed it with Rich. I've seen the letter. But it seems to me that expense has to be incurred regardless of whether it's an extension of the district or not, or a tenancy agreement, or a separate system to serve the project. But without the report and plan, I think it's asking a lot for
Yeah,
the board to
I
go
understand what you're saying, but we're gonna be spending tens of thousands of dollars, and we don't really have a verbal or a memorandum of understanding or expanding the district for any of that. If the board says on there, they're all in favor of the project, they like the project and it's a go, something, we have nothing, we can drill the well, I could be fracking this well, producing enough water to assist the existing water district at our expense, and then the town board can say, nah, we don't want this project.
Joe, that sounds
Well,
pretty disingenuous.
yeah,
to me. I
I
think
think
you've had enough time to go over this, and I think it's about enough that we've discussed this.
there's nothing that's been said by this town nor the planning board that would suggest otherwise. I think you should take it as a favorable position of the board. But I think what you should hear from these people is the appropriate response. Just know that I've not heard one person speak objectionable to this project. I was on the planning board when we did the sidewalks on this project. So I think your clients need to either get their ass in gear and do this project or decide they're not going to do it. But at this point, I think you've heard enough from Don. I think out of the respect for everybody else here, it's enough. And thank you.
Okay.
Joe, we're willing to work with you. Nobody's trying to hold this project up, but you're asking us to grant you an approval before you get to that point in the development process where you should be granted an approval. And that's what we've been telling you. And every other developer goes through these same machinations about having to, design a project and spend thousands of dollars to design that project, not knowing if they're going to get an approval at the end of the day. That's the
But
way it's structured in New York.
The same process has taken place in this town. You do your work and we'll do ours. Go do your work. And be done with it. I've not heard one thing that has been objectionable to this project. Go do your work and we'll do ours. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Take a breath. All right. Mary?
Yep. Next item on my agenda are, two issues regarding Route 164. The first one is a resolution, requesting the New York State Department of Transportation to do some safety improvements for New York State Route 164. The town of Patterson has expressed that they're concerned with the safety of vehicles passing through the aforementioned bridges. Those being located on 164 between 311 and Route 22. The town of Patterson is requesting that New York State Department of Transportation install additional traffic control features to improve the safety of vehicles passing through these three bridges as follows. That a full stop should be required at both the east approach and the west approach of each of the one-lane bridges, and installation of a center rumble strip in the 22-foot wide bridges underpasses. The road passes under the bridges as a means of reducing lane departures and potential crashes. So I'd like to take this resolution and enter it into the record as though read. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
An additional item regarding 164 is actually an old item, but a recent response that we received on May 14th of this year. The request came from Troop K Traffic Supervisor to the New York State DOT, requesting that the speed limits be changed on 164 between Route 311 and Route 22 in the town of Patterson. There had been a speed study at this location and completed by New York State DOT, and the speed limit along segment of Route 164 from Route 311 to Metro North Crossing is reduced now to 35 miles per hour, and the speed limit along the segment of Route 164 from Metro North Railroad Crossing to Route 22 is now reduced to 45 miles per hour. Like to make a motion?
No, this is just notice from the DOT
Information?
that they changed the speed limit.
What was the 45 before? It was 45.
55.
It was really 55?
Yeah, New York State speed limit is 55.
Oh, 'cause it was on
marked
Mark.
roads.
Don't, I asked the same question. I didn't think it was that high. I thought it was 40.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have some recreation requests also from, Matt Chavarro. He has some lifeguard new hires he'd like to bring on staff. He's understaffed at this time, so fortunately he was able to get, 3 candidates for lifeguard. The first one is Caitlin Weber. He's recommending the pay rate of $19.50 per hour. Mo Poley, I believe she's, come back. She's worked for us before. Her
No,
pay rate.
this is new.
Oh, Mo. Oh, it's her sister? Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, right. Okay. So, I drove Mo in kindergarten. Okay. She's at a rate of $14 per hour. Alex Brendler, and he will be at the rate of $18 per hour. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve Miss Weber, Miss Poley, Mr. Brendler for lifeguards for the new season, 2024 summer season for the Patterson Rec. So moved.
Second.
As per the pay rates.
As per the
Oh,
pay
sorry.
rates outlined in the memo.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I think the summer started already. It's
Yeah.
awfully hot
Yeah,
in
It's
here.
cooling down a little. Thankfully.
Okay, so we have another new hire for Matt. He would like to hire Marguerite Murphy as a recreation assistant. Marguerite comes to us with excellent customer service skills, and she is also bilingual. So I'd like to make a motion to hire Marguerite Murphy as a recreation assistant at $16 per hour. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Also, another new hire for Matt will be Alicia Nitty also as a recreation assistant. She has 2 years of camp experience and she's a college athlete playing in lacrosse and she has many years' experience doing so. So I'd like to make a motion to approve Alicia Nitty as a recreation assistant at the rate of $15 per hour. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The last agenda, we approved some bulk storage units for the recreation center, so we have only one vendor that we are using since we've already purchased a unit and we just need an additional add-on, so I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of an add-on bulk storage unit from Uline at the amount of not to exceed more than $700. So
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Matt has been very busy. So, we have some junior staff, recreation assistants, for camp directors. We have Aaliyah Lancy and Megan Kearns for the Patterson Recreation Department at the amount of $11 per hour. I'd like to make a motion to approve Aaliyah and Megan. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Additionally, Matt would like he's requesting a pay rate increase to $18 an hour for Olivia Geiso. She did a very good job last year at the multi-camp and nature adventure camp and directing and guiding the counselors. So he'd like to increase this to $18 per hour. I'd like to make a motion to approve Matt's requests for Olivia Geiso. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
He'd also like to increase the pay rate for Chris Santos, the basketball camp instructor. He's been with us for 7 years. And I don't want to include everything. Chris is well respected in the local community as a basketball camp and always has the highest attendance out of all our weekly summer camps. So I'd like to make a motion to increase the pay rate for Chris Santos to $26 per hour. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just to outline here for Matt that these increases have already been accounted for in the 2024 budget. Lastly, he'd like to hire Naomi Turman. She was a CIT last year and she was excellent at her position. She's very wise beyond her years. So Matt is requesting a dual pay rate for Naomi since she'll be serving 2 positions for the recreation center, $13 per hour as a recreation assistant and $20 per hour as a soccer camp instructor. I'd like to make a motion to approve those rates for Naomi Turman. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have, Justice Court. I actually had a question. We have a request from Judge Caruso for, Spira. Apparently her role,
No.
do you want?
CPR. You got one?
I don't have it. All right, I'll just,
Is that there too?
no, I have it, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Sorry.
So, you want me to go back to that or you want me to just?
I don't care. Do it.
Yeah, all right, I'll do it after.
We've
Yeah.
got
Um,
we've got a stack to do tonight. Take one.
All right, so apparently the issue at the court is that Spira is part-time. She works 17 and a half hours per week on an average. and he needs to make an increase to at least 25-hour schedule to accomplish what she needs to do. I know we've had conversations before, with past court clerks and issues with part-time. Is there any issues or concerns with?
So this is kind of an interesting twist on this. We were unable to actually increase her hours because she was not civil service eligible.
Mhm.
And in the discussions apparently over at court, it came out that she was actually appointed to a civil service position many, many years ago.
Really?
So they approached Putnam County personnel who reinstated her civil service position.
Oh, okay,
So now she can work up to 28 hours.
okay. So do we need board approval for this?
Yes.
You
Oh,
want-
yeah, because
okay.
we're changing, we're changing the budgeted amount,
Okay.
right? So there's additional hours that they're requesting over the 17 and a half.
Mhm.
They're gonna be looking for, or they are looking for 7.5 hours per week, additional time for spare.
Okay.
And for the rest of the year, that's going to translate probably to about $6,500 in increased salary.
Okay.
So we're gonna really have to take a close look at this next year if you want to go forward with this. 'Cause
Okay. Well, myself taking into consideration all the work that Spear has been doing, she's kind of been hanging in there with all the, change of positions that we've been dealing with there and keeping everything together and the judges being satisfied with her. I'd like to make a motion to approve the additional hours scheduled from between 25 to 28 hours per week. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's been fabulous. I don't know what we would have done without her with all the transitions over the
Yes,
last.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
been fantastic.
Mhm.
She really has.
Yeah.
Okay, so I missed this one. First aid, CPR training and compensation requests for doing so. There's a cost for the required first aid training, which is, so just want to see. All right, so MAP needs up to 6 employees to take the first aid training. The payment wouldn't exceed more than $570. It's required by the CPR BLS class will be provided free of charge for camp staff and lifeguards. Okay, so he's anticipating up to 10 recreation employees will take the CPR training. So I'm understanding this, that the CPR training is free, but the first aid portion of the training is $95 per person.
Correct.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve that that we provide CPR training, first aid training at a payment not to exceed more than $570 for the town Patterson Rec Center. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Additionally, he's asking, I'm sorry, you went to put the paper away and I watched you. He's also asking that the staff members that complete the first aid and CPR training be compensated for their training time. I believe we've done this in the past, so I'll make a motion to approve the training that's required by Putnam County Department of Health for our summer day camp and operation be paid for the employees, be paid for any time they spend doing the required training. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Peter,
I'm up.
you're up.
Okay. We have, refund requests from the, building department. There's 5 of them. I'll try to get through them quickly. Chris Lombardo Plumbing and Heating is requesting, payment, a refund of $279 for a project he was going to do, and then he removed himself from that project. I make a motion that we, I got it.
Okay, sorry.
I make a motion that we refund in the amount of $204 as $75 of the application fee is non-refundable. So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. The next is Albert, and I'm gonna butcher the last name, Lukash. Close, that's who it is.
As close as we're gonna get.
In February, he made a payment amount in the amount of $250. It was processed. The permit application in the amount of $225 has been approved, and the homeowner issued a check for $250. So I'm making a motion to refund Albert, $25. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Close.
I think Pete's putting them to.
Anybody else vote on that one?
Aye.
Mary?
I seconded.
Yeah, but that's.
You guys
you
took
didn't
a
vote.
vote.
I did say.
She
it.
did say that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
I'm trying to
Pull
get
back
through it.
together here.
Graciano Acosta, is requesting, paid $225 in cash. He's requesting a refund, not going to proceed with construction. So I am making a motion to refund him in the amount of $150. Again, that $75 is non-refundable. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nelson Colon, made a payment of $975, was processed and was going to construct a second story, on the house. The total fee was $975, but it was overlooked that the applicant had previously paid $75 application fee on 25th, where I'm making a motion to refund the $75 to Mr. Colon, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. What's next? This? Patterson Commons, performance bond. We have a recommendation from the planning board before us, from their May 2nd, 2024 meeting. They'd like to establish bond for the, Benderson Development Corporation, and the amount of the performance bond in the amount of 19,426, and the inspection fees at 15,843.40. I make a motion that we adopt the resolution, and if there's no objections, I would like to ask that it be entered into the record as read. And I recommend that we approve this. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Putnam Lake Park District, requests. The first request is for cleanup of Warren, Jackson, and Fairfield beaches. The total amount for the cleanup is $4,875, and that was put out to bid. We asked for 3 bids, we received 2. So I make a motion that we go with, Backwoods Plowing and Landscaping LLC in the amount of $4,875. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Discussion real quick?
Yeah.
Just since Meg is here, Meg, can you just let us know a little bit more about what's being proposed for Fairfield, since it's the largest amount of the bill? And it's not an established or approved beach?
The beach has been neglected for 2 years. There's overgrowth going into the fence. It's a disaster and it's a hazard if anybody goes onto the beach.
And so what is the proposed use when this work is completed?
The proposed, it's to take care of our parklands.
No, but so what would your residents in Putnam Lake use that area for?
There are people that just like to go down and sit down on the beach, and at this point, they can't even
Okay.
do it.
I'm
And
just
it's
trying to,
an
I'm trying to
eyesore.
be clear that it's not a swimming beach.
Oh, no,
All
it's
right,
not a
just wanted to
swimming
be
beach.
clear.
No,
Okay.
it's just,
No, I
Correct.
get that. I just wanted to be clear. I didn't want to all of a sudden have that we spend $3,000 and we have people swimming and we have an unapproved beach where.
no, that's not what
Okay.
it's about.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Thank you for that.
Beach sand. We, Meg put it out to bid and received, the lowest bid was Consolado Construction, and that was for 40 tons of beach sand, 20 for Jackson Beach, 20 for Warren Beach, and that is delivered, the sand delivered and installed. So I make a motion that we approve that for, in the amount of $3,600. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. The next is, removal of the old docks. As you may or may not know, new docks were installed, at Putnam Lake at both beaches, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. At any rate, the old docks were sitting in a shed, I believe. at the boathouse. And, we decided that we should get rid of them because we're not gonna be reusing them. So Consolado, came in with a bid, for removal of the old docks. I assume he's gonna remove and dispose of them. Okay. In the amount of $2,800, and he was the lowest bid of 4 other bids. So I make a motion that we enlist, Consolado Construction Company in the amount of $2,800 for the dock removal. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Oh, this is from the morning. Oh, that's, okay. I make a motion that we continue our contract. Is that what we're doing?
Well, they are a current contractor. The contract came due, so we went out, and got 3 prices to make sure we were giving our residents the best price possible for
This-
the
this is-
dumpster removal.
This is for dumpsters in the park, I guess.
Correct.
Okay.
It's actually stationed out by the ball field.
So I'd like to make a motion that we, award the 3-yard garbage container, in the amount of, for a 3-year contract of $4,572, being the, lowest bid, and that would, go to Oak Ridge. So, yeah, Oak Ridge. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
Okay. First up, we have a vacancy on the Veterans Park Advisory Board. We have a man who has served the board very well in the past, who is willing to get back involved, Mr. Bill Yellett. We have a resolution which would give him the appointment that exists, which would run through the end of this year, just to December 31st of 2024. So I'll make a motion that we approve this resolution and ask that it be entered into the record as though read for Mr. William Yellett to fill that unexpired term. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next,
Aye.
we have the public hearing that was handled earlier tonight, and we have a resolution for the adoption of local law number 2 of 2024. This is constituting a type 1 action with a negative declaration of significance of secra. I'll ask that this resolution be entered into the record as though read. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have a request from our highway supervisor, and since he is here, and this is a little
Gonna make him
convoluted,
speak.
Eddie.
Sorry, Ed.
So, hey, we already approved the funding for it, but if you could get up and just give the Reader's Digest version of what you're looking to buy and background on it, would be much appreciated.
This is your favorite part of the job, right?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, everyone. So our current bucket truck is a 2001. We had some issues with it. We sent it out for servicing. It needed hydraulic lines and state inspection. After having that work done on the way back, the head gasket blew. So, yeah.
Why not?
We currently are in the situation where another one of our trucks, we're replacing the motor in it. It's taken an extended period of time because of lack of parts, basically. We've been in this process for the last 3 months. It's not quite complete, so we haven't even started the process of putting a new motor in the bucket truck. With that being said, when that's done, we still have a 23-year-old truck, which it's at the end of its life expectancy. We've been without a bucket truck for 6 months. Needless to say, we have been very lucky, knock on wood. We haven't had too many emergencies where that we couldn't handle otherwise. I feel that's gonna run out sooner or later. It's a key piece of equipment that we need. We have searched high and low. We've looked at used bucket trucks. We've looked at brand new ones. The used ones, they're well used. And at the end of the day, I just don't think it's the best allocation of money. We did find one, it's a 2023, so it's a year old in Long Island. It's a very fair price, I feel, what they're asking for it. One of our mechanics and the operator went down, inspected it, looked it over. It checks all of our boxes and what we need. So we have The total cost of the truck is $196,000. Between three different lines, we can come up with $151,000. We are asking the board to fund the last $45,500 of the purchase.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
You're
No,
welcome.
we just appreciate
Thank
the,
you.
We appreciate making you uncomfortable.
Ed, if you were paying attention earlier, we already did the fund transfer, so, you know. I'll make a motion, we approve the, request by our, Highway Superintendent Ed Foster as submitted, so moved.
Second.
Yeah, just give me a minute here.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have one additional piece of business. And that is the fund transfer.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
So, funds to machinery, equipment, and capital account for the requested bucket truck per request attached and plow, sander, washer already purchased from prior year not held in 2024. We're increasing the allocated fund balance for $60,500, increasing machinery, equipment, and capital outlay $215,300, decreasing equipment and capital outlay $120, and machinery contractual $3,400, snow removal $20,000, and general repairs and personal services $11,400. Budget request number 14, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
A note on Memorial Day, we have a bunch of great events planned for Memorial Day. We have 10 o'clock at the Putnam Lake Monument. And I know Maggie will be there, smiling as always, leading the charge as only you can do. Thank you so much for everything you do for our community. And then from 12:30, meeting here at the town hall, marching down to the monument for a 1 o'clock ish ceremony. It will be a wonderful day to honor our veterans. Some really great activities planned, and again, I think it's when Patterson shines the most. And we have such great people involved in putting that together. So thank you to everyone who's involved in that. And I have one other thing. Can I add before you jump into?
Go ahead.
So I just want to thank our sanitation department and Margot Miller. A week or so ago, I was over by the entrance to Cornwall condos, Cornwall Hill Road, and noticed that there was a sewer manhole that had been moved probably from the plows from wintertime. It was probably 12 inches ajar, and you could see down into the thing. Honestly, a small child would have fallen in there and we would have lost him. It was really bad. And spoke with our highway department and our Putnam County Highway, because it's a Putnam County road, so it's not a highway issue. It turns out it's because it's a sewer manhole. Margot, we eventually determined that it would fall to Allied. Rather than go that route, I just implored our highway department to get involved because of the life safety issue for the immediate concern, and we can follow up with Allied in the future. Within minutes, the sanitation guys were able to come down and fix it. And I want to thank Ed, your leadership, and Margot especially for resolving that life safety issue in a matter of minutes. It wasn't an hour, it wasn't 2 hours, it wasn't a day, it was minutes. So thank you to the sanitation workers for protecting our children in Patterson, which obviously we cannot afford to lose any of. So kudos to the guys and especially to Margot and your leadership. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. So, about a month ago, one of our residents asked about our septic maintenance program and asked that we provide an update. I have it here. The septic maintenance database contains 3,358 developed properties with subsurface sewage disposal systems. Currently, there's about a 71% compliance, with property owners having at least one inspection. Putnam Lake area fares a little better with a 79% compliance rate. The remaining areas of the town of Patterson have a 65% compliance rate. However, I do want to put the one caveat into that last year when we sent letters out to Putnam Lake, we saw that there were a number of septic companies who had not provided reports. And we saw that compliance rate increased significantly in the Putnam Lake area. And it is not that we are not enforcing this program, we are, but we are doing so when people generally transfer the homes, we make sure that the septics have been well maintained. And we will continue to do that. Hopefully later this year, we'll get some time and we'll be able to send out another level of letters to people who are not in compliance so we can get that compliance up. So, any questions on that?
Actually, just a comment. So you want to advise the homeowners that if they do have their septic pump, when they do have their septic pump, that they should, make sure that they retain a copy or, and bring it into the town hall.
Well, we
do
don't,
the-
so the septic haulers are supposed to be bringing the certificates in. I don't really want a bunch of residents running in here
Right.
because it's gonna be, duplicate work. We're gonna go crazy trying to figure out.
I think something worth adding, oh, God.
I think that the homeowner should make sure that whoever's providing the service is certified, I believe that they're certified, and that they're sending in that inspection to the town.
So just a comment on that, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name of the company, but at the end of the
We don't
last
know the name.
meeting, I mentioned the name of the company that I used more recently because the last one I used wasn't doing that. And I specifically asked the last company that I used the last couple of times and reassured me that they were filing with the health department. And then a comment came back that actually they're the most, not, I don't want to say negligent, but
Notorious.
Yeah.
notorious.
Yeah. So a couple of quick points. One, we will be doing a lot more education to the community through the health department on not only the importance of septic maintenance, but the importance of having that documentation submitted to the town and to the health department. Secondly, there is a public portal that you can access through the Putnam County Clerk's website under land records. You go down to where you would file the information for a FOIL request. And essentially it says before filing FOIL request, you can look at records and see if you can find the information. All well and septic info on residential and commercial properties is already available to the public. You can see anything. And before even asking anyone the question whether or not we've received anything, if we've received it at the health department, it's scanned in and you can not only see yours, but you can see your neighbors or anybody else without completing a FOIL request. You go in, the main thing is you just have to know the tax map number of the property, which there are instructions to image mate, which you can easily look up that information. You then take that tax map information, you go into the Laserfiche forward-facing portal. And once you do it once, it's very straightforward. If anybody has any concerns about it, you can call my office, we'll walk you through it, call the health department. But essentially you're looking up based on tax map and you can see everything and anything that the health department has on well and septic data for any property in Putnam County. It's a great system and it's through a collaboration between the health department and our county clerk, Mike Bartolotti. It's fantastic. It has reduced the number of FOIL requests to the health department by probably 75% because everybody's looking for well and septic. So why not make the information available? We weren't redacting information anyway. So just know you can find that information out. And if you have a pump out receipt that we've received, it's scanned in there. If we haven't received it, it's not scanned in. It's that simple. That's when you can contact your septic company. So again, you go to the county clerk's website, you scroll down under FOIL, Freedom of Information Law Requests, and look for the right-hand side under the first bullet. It says Public Access Portal or something to that public portal. It's a little hyperlink. You click on that, it brings you right in. It's really straightforward. And people love it because they can get that real-time information right on your cell phone or on a computer.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, next up is the Route 311 improvements. I'm going to table that. This has to do with some improvements the town received the grant for over on 311. The bids came in higher than the funding that we currently have. We are currently working with the two individuals who have submitted the highest bid, trying to value engineer this project. So hopefully at the next meeting, we'll be able to move on this. It's a long time coming. All right, where are we? Putnam Lake study. This is more of an announcement. We do have the study back that was commissioned by the town last year concerning the lake sediments. It is a very interesting study. It does support some of the conclusions that we've been talking about, that there is a lot of phosphorus in the bottom of the lake and that it is not bound up, so is readily available to spur the algae growth out there. And there were some very interesting other things that came out of the report. So it is up on our website. Anybody that wants to take a look at it, I would encourage you to do so. Any comments, please feel free to contact my office and send them in. We'll get them around to everybody. Next steps in this is I want to meet with the chair of the Park Advisory Board after they've had time to digest the study. And maybe a couple of the residents out there. And also I want to start reaching out to people who are interested in potentially dredging the lake, to start talking about, how we're gonna do this, and what the cost is gonna be. So we can get some practical ideas about how we can move this forward. But I think the report, if, read it, you will see that it does support going down this road for a variety of reasons, not just to get the phosphorus out, but one of the things I wasn't thinking about, it's a phenomenal way to control invasive species growth out there, especially the water chestnuts. So, okay, moving on. We had a little bit of an incident where NYSEG installed a new pole and did so right next to the sign that the town had put up that said, this is a forced sewer main, so it went right down through the sewer main, so we needed to get the repairs done. They were actually completed Monday very successfully, and NYSEG was very helpful in getting them done. So I would like to make a motion to approve Gallagher Contracting for the repairs to the Thunder Ridge sewer line for the amount of $7,200. So
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Hi,
Any-
Rich, did you just say that this work is completed or will?
It is completed.
It's completed, okay, good.
And NICEAG, which was helpful, but they're not gonna pony up.
Well, we haven't finished that conversation.
Okay, thanks.
That is that. Next up, Comcast franchise agreement. It is that time. We have started discussions with Comcast concerning the cable franchise agreement. Everybody, I believe, has a copy of it. I've been through it. I've given my recommendations to the board for changes that we need to talk about. And the essential changes are where we're defining a standard installation. They have it defined as 150 feet. Well, most of our homes are set back a little bit further. Anybody that, goes past 150 feet, they have to pay for any additional cost to install the utility. As well as what Comcast has determined is an appropriate area to provide service to. I have asked for Comcast to provide me a map showing everybody that has service and everybody that doesn't. I asked them again today. I'm still waiting for that to come through because I think most of the town is covered at this point, but I want to make sure it's all covered. So if you would take a look at the agreement, and if you have any questions or comments, get it back to me. If you want, we could set up a work session to go through it. So, and that's where we are with that.
We go back to the age-old conversation that people always think we're holding back on people getting FiOS and things like that. It goes back to Comcast, not us. And people always want to,
Or Verizon.
or Verizon. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have one or two requests that have come in the last 2 days under other business to consider. Run down through these really quick. The first one up has to do with repairs needed to one of our ambulances. The front and rear brakes need to be replaced, as well as we need to have some tires mounted in balance, that we purchased the tires because we received a better deal. The low bidder on this was Specialty Ambulance in the amount of $2,600. Our EMS administrator is asking for a budget of $3,500 to include any surprise repairs when they get in there and to cover the cost of the tires. So I'd like to make a motion to approve this non-bid procurement request form for specialty ambulance for the vehicle repairs in the amount of $3,500. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, next up, our assistant EMS administrator has become certified to provide BLS certification classes. And she's looking to set up a budget for doing that. You all have the memo. And I would like to make a motion to approve the line item budget provided by Jennifer Hunt, Assistant EMS Administration, for providing BLS certification classes. So moved. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have a conference request from our assessor's office. They actually put in for a scholarship to do this. This is a personal development training in assessment. It is up in Hotel Ithaca. The total cost is $1,855.10. And that is all being picked up by ORPS, New York State. So there is no cost for this to the town. So I'd like to make a motion to approve our Amanda Tompkins going to Cornell Seminar on Professional Development in July. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have a request by the seniors for a trip, Hudson Valley Cruises. Total expenses are $2,264.51. They're anticipating an income of $900 from tickets. So the total cost to budget would be $1,364.51. I'd like to approve the request by the seniors for Hudson River Cruises as submitted. So
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
This is a little interesting. We have we have an issue out in Putnam Lake with an individual who believes that town drainage is affecting the septic system. And we decided we were gonna send the town engineer out there and have an excavation done to check the groundwater, which was done. And the individual is now saying that the town is responsible for the bill for the excavation. And it's for $500. I really don't want to get into a hassle over this with the property owner, but I think at this point we're done assisting the homeowner in trying to resolve his septic issues. But I'd like to make a motion to approve Gagliardo Excavating in the amount of $500 for doing the excavation work on the site. So
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna recuse.
Okay. So this is a little troubling to me. It is with deep regret that I need to announce the resignation of the chairperson from our Veterans Park Advisory Board and also from our Board of Assessment Review, Mary Butler, because of other commitments and personal issues, has submitted her letter of resignation. So I'd like to make a motion to accept her letter of resignation with deep regret. She was a phenomenal chair, and I'm sure we're going to miss her. So,
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Recused.
All right, being as we have now an opening on the Veterans Memorial Park Advisory Board for the chair position, and I did attend the meeting last night with Peter. And we talked about some reorganizational issues with the board that was there. And we do need to have somebody step up and be the chair of the board, and Barbara Ferrera has done so. She has submitted her letter of interest. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Barbara Ferrera to the Park Advisory Board Chair position. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Right here.
Okay.
Mhm.
One of the other issues is the need to take minutes out there. Again, we had a discussion with the board about, they're taking minutes and how that was going to be accomplished. And I have purchased a tape recorder so the meetings can be recorded so that we will have an audio. But in the past, we had an individual actually transcribing those minutes, and we need to do that again. And the individual who was doing it, Lois Moss, has agreed to come back to the Veterans Memorial Park Advisory Board and act as their secretary. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Lois Moss as secretary to the Veterans Memorial Park Advisory Board. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What,
Opposed?
Opposed.
okay, sorry. All right, one of the issues that we have, because of the chair stepping down, is the board did not have the park facility applications to review and approve. And these need to get done. And if, being as the board didn't do it, the next best thing is for the town board to step up and do it, which we do that. And we have 3 of them. So has everybody had a chance to take a look at it?
Yeah, except I agree with your comment on the one application. It needs to be a little more defined on the 50 plus.
All right, well, we did have that conversation and we did.
And we allow them to build the bounce house then?
Yes, we
Oh,
do, but
okay.
whoever is putting the bounce house in has to give us insurance.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so I will make a motion to approve the request for the use of Veterans Memorial Park by Kristen D. Rosario. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I will make a motion to approve the use of Veterans Memorial Park in accordance with the application submitted for Timothy Jeffrey Martinez. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to approve the request for the use of Veterans Memorial Park submitted by Pedro Valdez. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Okay. So every year we do preventative maintenance on the lift stations, the Achilles heel or knee sewage treatment system. We have a proposal here by the contractor that we use for removing sewage. I'd like to make a motion to approve. I'm just reading the memo, we didn't put it in here. Fred Cook to clean out the lift stations for a full day's service for the amount of $2,600. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And I would like to add a executive session onto my agenda, personnel. I would like to interview an individual perhaps for the Board of Assessment Review. The Board of Assessment Review is meeting this Tuesday. We are currently 1 member short. And, if possible, we need to talk about filling that position.
Perfect.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
That should have been part of the sewer
Got it.
repair. Cool. Okay. Any board member have any other business they wish to bring up at this time? All good?
I think so. I don't know. You good?
Thanks, Sue. Needs to be done.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah, that was part of.
Oh, you're right. No, all right, so it is part of the Thunder Ridge sewer repair. We have a pump that's out and we need to repair the pump. So I'd like to make a motion to approve site-specific to repair the pump. This is great. We got everything working and the pump goes out. In the amount of $3,658.65. So we'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, we will open it up to public recognition. Does any member of the public joining us here tonight have any comments? Please step up, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Denise Sopramola from the Patterson Town Library Board. I'm going to start with an announcement. Our own Stephanie Harrison, who's the director of the library, she got a Woman of Distinction at the ceremony on Monday, and she was given the award by Congressman Lawler. So she was recognized with a bunch of other invaluable contributors. I just
Yep.
wanted to let everyone know that. Again,
If we could get Stephanie to bring us a copy of that, we would display it in town hall if they want. We do that. No, I mean.
oh, a copy of the, oh, yeah,
no,
I'll tell her. Great.
We have them downstairs in the lobby.
Perfect. Thank you.
You could-
And then our events. So we have a touch a truck for heroes coming up on Saturday, June 8th from 10 to 3. It's a great event that the Patterson Rotary Club puts it on, and it will take place at the Patterson Firehouse and the Patterson Library. Again, Saturday, June 8th from 10 to 3. Second of all, we have What's in a Name, Patterson's Past from 1730 to 1800 on Thursday, June 20th at 6:30 PM. Before becoming Patterson, the area had various names. The Oblong, Worcestershire, the Gore, South Precinct of Dutchess County, and Fredericksburg, Franklin. So I thought it was very interesting of all the names that Patterson was before it became Patterson. Then we also have a series that's coming up, Serenity in the Park meditation series. It's going to start on Wednesday, June 26th, and then it'll be 3 Wednesdays after that at 10:30 a.m. in the library park. If anybody would like to join, again, all of these things you can register at the Patterson Library or on their website. On Tuesday, July 9th, we have the Calpulli Mexican dance performance. At 6 p.m. It's bring the family with a picnic dinner and join us in our library park for a wonderful performance with the dancer from Calpulli Mexican Dance Company in a celebration of traditional Mexican dance and music. I believe that's it. Oh, I had one other thing with that, with the touch a truck thing, actually, I saw on the bottom. If anybody wants to sponsor a flag that will be shown on 311, each flag will be a keepsake medallion bearing the hero's name, and flags are $50, and the funds will go to support the Rotary's Do Good in the World efforts. And flags can be ordered at the Patterson Library or visit pattersonrotary.org for information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Meg Kearney, Putnam Lake Park District. We are in need of security cameras at Warren Beach and Jackson Beach. There's 3 ways we could do it. One would be trail cameras,
Yeah.
but that won't work for us because of the SDR. Second would be cellular, which is no good. And then the third would be Wi-Fi. Is there a way for us to get Wi-Fi in order to get cameras?
So what I would ask, I will give you the name of our vendor that we use, Nikon Security, and have a conversation with them. They are the ones who have the cameras at the boathouse,
Okay,
and see what they recommend. And then from there, we can see about maybe getting another vendor in just to confirm that.
There also are trail cameras that they're a lot more expensive, but they do send wireless as soon as the picture's taken. I know people that they literally have cameras that when I'm walking the dog, they know within 5 minutes that I've walked past the camera because it goes by satellite. If you have cell
Wow.
coverage, you don't need, they're a little more expensive, but
Yeah,
in the
but-
grand scheme of things, they're not that bad.
perfect. And then the second thing I wanted to ask about was 11 years ago, before, when it was still PLCC land, there was a car accident. They ran into the fence at Hudson Beach. It's never been replaced.
I know
Did the
that.
town get the money? Can we put up a new fence?
So that I don't know, I would have to check. But listen, you can put up whatever is in your budget.
Okay. I'm just concerned because half of it's down. I'm
No,
concerned
listen.
about kids going in there without a fence. And
It's looked awful forever. You know, with that fence, not up, not down. So, I would support doing one or the other.
so I can look into prices and then we can discuss it at a later date.
Yes, you might want to talk to your head of building and maintenance because he has a list of fence vendors.
Perfect. And then the last thing I want to mention is Memorial Day. I'm very proud that Putnam Lake is adding 2 monuments to our existing monument for the Gulf War in Iraq and Afghanistan. So the town of Patterson will be the first town in Putnam County to have such monuments.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to
Fantastic.
seeing you all at our parade. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, hi.
Ooh.
Well, I'm really short. Sorry.
You
I
have to
guess my
use, you
question
have
would
to,
be-
you can take the mic out and use the mic.
Okay, my question would be to, I guess you, the supervisor. Why is the doors locked to the town hall?
So it's somewhat of a security measure that we screen people coming into the building. Make sure that they have legitimate business within the building, but people are coming in and out of this building all the time.
But what message does that
can you-
send to your
do you-
community?
It sends a message that we take the safety of our employees of utmost importance. I can tell you in the health department, we have a secure area where everybody comes into and everybody is treated with the utmost customer service.
But-
Wait a minute, let me finish. And then I'll let you speak. People are greeted. If they need to come in, they're escorted or they're given that permission to come in. But people wandering around an office is not acceptable in 2024. We need to make sure our employees are safe and the people are treated and get the customer service. If you need to come see somebody, you're gonna be taken care of. Have you ever been denied service in this town?
No, but that's not my point. My point is that when you lock something out, it's either you're locking people out,
We're not
which
locking
as a
anybody out.
community, this is an open building and should be
It's
just
not an open
that.
building.
Yes, we.
Where do you go that's an open building?
I've come in here before COVID.
Okay,
And,
so,
and we were.
let me jump
we
in.
would check in.
No, because this is, I'm tired of people saying this kind of stuff without an explanation. Ma'am.
This is my first time approaching ever,
No, no, no.
or coming to the
The-
board to say anything. But when you put locks, you're
It's not,
saying.
it's not locks, it's just security measures that say that people can
but-
state their
but you're
business.
Saying that you don't trust the community.
I'm saying
and
that
the
that my
community that put
employees
you
in this
here.
town need to be safe.
Sean, let me jump in. All right, let me tell you,
Locks are made for keeping
let me tell
people
you two
out
stories.
or for hiding things, correct?
Let me tell you two stories,
That's not fair.
okay?
Or we
Ma'am.
lock up criminals.
Let me tell you two
That's what
stories
we
here.
use locks for.
Are you gonna let me speak here?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I
thank
was
you.
just,
I understand. I understand you're a little bit agitated about this.
yeah.
Since 2020, we've had two incidents. The first one was when a gentleman came in here and wanted to go office by office and film everybody doing their job and just hang out for the day and walk around. And it was right after COVID.
Okay.
And so at that point, we had the building still locked down because of issues with COVID. So, and we had a very nice conversation with the gentleman. And then he proceeded to walk around the outside of the building and go room to room on the bottom floor and film everybody doing their job. That's the world we live in today. The second instance occurred when we had just a couple of people that were working late, trying to get things done. Unfortunately, somebody forgot to lock the front door, but the inner door was locked. So the gentleman came into the lobby. And he kept ringing the bell till somebody finally came out and he said, nobody's answering me. I want somebody to help me with this ticket. Well, court had already closed. So he was sent away. He went out, he kicked the doors open when he went out and he was very belligerent. And then he walked over to his car, got a big liter-gallon of Pepsi and sprayed it all over the windows. And we had it on tape, but that's the new reality to this world. And it's unfortunate. So yes, we do secure the front. People are coming in and out of this building all the time, but we do make sure that you have legitimate business coming in and out of this building.
Okay, so that's two incidences. So. to
Do you
address
go
the
into the
first-
schools?
Huh?
Do you go into the,
I've been to the school district.
and you can
I-
get in
I
and just
sat
walk in without saying hello to anybody or just
I get
wander through?
buzzed in and I'm greeted
Show
by
ID.
my guest.
What if you decided, I just want to walk down the hall and go see a teacher? Are you allowed to do that? Of course not. Come on. The reality is, ma'am, you're not denied any services and they're making sure they're directing you appropriately. If we want to go
But
see
this
Mary,
is our community building.
ma'am,
We should be. able to come
respectfully,
in
the employees are,
without a problem.
well, I'm
and if-
sorry that
if
you're
the
disappointed in
employees
that,
don't feel
but that
comfortable-
policy is not changing tonight.
But I'm not saying it's gonna change tonight.
Thank you.
Well,
I- I hear you. I don't know why you like.
Because
you
ma'am,
seem
you're
like
not
a
the only
chef.
one to say, and to be honest, our employees sometimes feel unsafe with the public just wandering around this building. Have you been, you haven't said you've been denied anything.
A public building is just that, so. to
It's
address
not,
that first
there's no
issue,
public building out there that you can
and
wander
it's a
around.
Constitutional right that they
No,
can
it's
come into a
not.
Public building.
Ma'am, it's
Listen,
not, you're
Okay,
wrong.
Sean,
If they.
ma'am,
I'm sorry,
with all
you're
due
wrong.
respect, the
It-
town board debates this and we consider this all the time. And at this point, the town board has made a decision, you know, we are where we
I
are.
just think it looks in poor taste, especially to people who are coming
Okay.
in to the community, new into the community. think it looks
I
in poor
understand,
taste.
but the policy isn't gonna change, you know, the building is semi-open to the public, but we do screen people to come in, and we're not gonna change that tonight.
That's a sad part.
But thank you for your,
Thank you very much for your comment, though.
yeah. Anyone else? All right, I will open it up to any member of our audience joining us by Zoom. If anybody has any questions or comments, if you would please unmute, state your name and address for the record, ask your question or state your comment. Motion to go into executive session? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Why don't we all go next door to the planning office?
I think that'd be good, because then we can get it done.
Yes.
I gotta go pick somebody up. But
Yeah.
Stuff in.